you're so good. Yay! You have to cover the items. Okay, clap. Yay! Parents! Okay, so I'm so excited you guys are here. With that being said, we have the wonderful Michael Courtney who will go over the applications. Inside of your folders, you have the following items, all right? Number 1, all right? Number 1, the common application. This is page 1. This is a picture of the website that you're going to go to. This is the page of the website that is your child's best friend. This is the website where your child will be registering for college. CommonApp.org, as I said. Be careful, there's a CommonApp.com. It's like a dummy website. It's not the one that you need, all right? So you have to put in your username and password. Take this paper. I will give you more. I'll give you the correct one to see where I come. Make sure that you have the username, password, consistent as this is. This is where all of the applications, except a few that we'll discuss, will be from, all right? This is a very frustrating website. We do a lot of this stuff here in-house, but keep in mind this is where you want to make sure that you're consistently going and you're storing information about the essays. The Common App is actually changing this year. They're getting the topic of your choice and a whole bunch of things. So these are the topics from the essay, which will be as of this year. So keep that in mind that you know the essay topics, which you definitely want to work on, all right? Next. On the right side, you will see a complete 2012-2013 college application. We're going to go page by page by page of this application. Make sure that you have this filled out. Your child will not actually be applying by paper, most not. So expect what you're getting yourselves into. I always believe that the 9th grader kids should have this. Not in the 12th, but what can I do? All right. There's also a teacher evaluation. You need 2 teacher letter recommendations. I have here 1 letter, 2 letters. They also want to take a look at extracurricular work experience. Really go through this application. It's extremely comprehensive, and make sure that you're on top of this. Last but not least, the school report. You have to connect with the school. Who's going to be the most annoying parent out of the school? Who's going to call the college counselor every single week to make sure the child application's in? Everyone has to do this. They're very busy. You have to be on top, especially if you're doing early decision, which will go over early decision versus regular. Next, there's a mid-year report, so your child's career January, and then there's also a final report towards the end of this application, which we'll go through. You can't fail anything. It will not accept you. It'll accept you, and then it will unaccept you, all right? So after you tell all your friends, and after you change your Facebook status where you're going to school, make sure you're up. Last but not least is an optional grade report, which we'll discuss as well. Keep all of this in mind as you have this, and really fun, we are going on a trip to Yale University. As soon as we have 28 seats, we are filling the bus. So it will be staffed. There's a coach bus. We have a guided tour from someone from the university. Everything's open at the school on Sunday. We confirmed it. So please bring the permission slip. It'll be a fun trip. This is for the students, but the parents are welcome to take the kids. We will, 28 in total, we will stop, minus several staff members. All right, so, yes. We will discuss everything about the application in a couple minutes. I just want you to know what ammunition you have, because you want to make sure that you're on top of the application. Common App is as possible. With that being said, I'm going to let Michael Courtney take over. And go ahead.
So my name is Michael Courtney. As Francis mentioned, I used to work at the admissions office at New York University. I was assistant director of admissions, and I actually oversaw the Tutoring school business admission process. And I worked in a high school in Riverdale called SAR High School, where high school students now apply to colleges. So I know exactly what you guys are going through as adults through this process. How many of you guys have gone through this process before, an older son or daughter? You can go totally different. I'll go over that shortly. So I'm going to go over with you guys ideas about the admission process and how they work, and I'll also talk about what to look for in your college search. Do we have kids here who are rising seniors, rising juniors, and rising sophomores, freshmen? All right, process. There are many factors that go into a review of an application. Typically, the 2 most important things: high school transcript and standardized testing. So the high school transcript is a 1-page document that lists the 4 years of courses and 3 years of grades at the time when the student's applying to colleges. If they're applying early decision or early action, which is usually a November deadline, there's also a first quarter grade report. And if they're applying regular decision, there's first semester grades. And then wherever they matriculate, they have to send the final transcript to that one. And 3 years of grades go on the final on a high school transcript that is sent to colleges. High school curricular rigor, meaning if the schools offer AP or IB curriculum, or honors, more accelerated classes, the more rigorous the curriculum, the better your chances are for schools that are more highly selective, that has a very strong selectivity. They only take 5% of kids. You can bet the kids who are getting in are the kids with the most demanding. So colleges want to see as high grades as possible. Certain colleges, a B student is fine. Other colleges, B plus student. Then you have colleges where A minus A plus student you're looking for. Those are the colleges that get the most median grade, the ones that are the most highly selected. So it's very important in the high school transcript that your children are challenging themselves to the best of their abilities. Meaning if your school's offering APs, senior year, they got to be taking those APs, not just doing a senior year slacking with the curriculum that shouldn't exist. Kids like the word senioritis, I'm a senior, I've worked this far. Not anymore. Maybe a generation ago that was okay, but now with the college admission process being so uber competitive, there's really no senior slack. So they're looking for the most demanding curriculum. Colleges are also looking at standardized testing. So it means I'm guessing your kids are preparing for SAT examination, critical reading, maths. So if they have proficiency in certain subjects, biology or chemistry or physics for the science kids, or you have world history, US history, you have literature, you have foreign language proficiencies, math 1, math 2, many different subject tests that demonstrate proficiency in those subjects that you've excelled in high school, you'll take those as well. The more competitive schools will want to see standardized tests, plus that's important to consider also. What else are colleges looking at? So standardized testing and a high school transcript for a lot of schools gets you in the conversation, right? For the CUNY system, for example, City University of New York, it's a formula. This SAT plus this GPA equals yes or no. That's not the case with most colleges in America. It's unless you have a score that your essays look like, recommendation letters, your demonstrated interest, which we'll talk about with that. There's different factors that go into play, which are already right there to present. So let's talk about extracurricular activities. Colleges all want leaders. They want kids to be founders of organizations and presidents of clubs and treasurers of this and secretaries of that. Youth movement leaders, people who are counselors, people who are really taking initiative. All the colleges love that. Doesn't mean you have to have a laundry list of 10 leadership positions, but a couple of them can really showcase you'll be someone who will make a difference on their campus. They're also looking for multi-year commitments. So if your sons or daughters have nothing for 3 years, and senior year they add on 10 activities, colleges are on to the student. They know that they're just doing it to pad up a college resume. They want to see kids with multiple years of investment to certain extracurriculars. Some people will ask me, what's more impressive, being an athlete, or being a theater person, or being someone into community service, or someone who is into dance? There's not one thing that will get you in unless you're a recruited athlete or a recruited musician. They're looking for someone who has interests, and then they can develop those interests and passions, bring them to the college campus. Has to have. I'll tell you, if you have kids that are athletes, squash is always in demand, so is crew, so is flute and the band. I mean, there's certain things that are in demand, but starting now in high school might be a little bit late. What do you think? So there are extracurriculars such as sports, such as music, such as dance. Whatever your kids are passionate about, they should be engaging in those activities for multiple years of high school. Colleges also look at recommendation letters, and also your college counselor letter from your high school. So the 2 teachers should be teachers from academic subjects, English, history, math, science, and foreign language. Those are typically the courses that the colleges are prioritizing. Unless you're applying for an art program, then you have an art portfolio and apply a studio art teacher. Or if you're applying for a music program, you have a music teacher. But in general, for liberal arts, you're looking at English, history, math, science, foreign language to especially excel in. You get 2 teachers to write those recommendation letters. They can be from junior year, or you might have 1 from sophomore year. You shouldn't have 2 freshman teachers write your letters. Also, sometimes students think the more recommendation letters I send, the better our chances are. There's actually an expression in a lot of admissions offices, the thicker the file, the thicker the cake. Meaning, if you have a really thick file with 30 recommendation letters, the kid's not doing their job properly. They're not really following directions. So if you want to have your 2 teachers, your 1 college counselor, maybe 1 supplementary letter from outside, maybe it's an employer who can really testify to your character, or maybe it's some politician for whom you intern for the summer, that's fine, but when you start having 4 extra teachers and 5 extra extraneous people outside of the school, that really gets excessive. So don't feel like the more letters the better. It's not necessary for colleges, but we need so many. So you want to ask a teacher who the student has gotten to know well on a personal level, not just I've got an A in the class, but I actually stayed after class to ask questions. I actually met with the teacher during lunch to go over the lesson plan. Like there's actual relationship there. Maybe the teacher is also an advisor for extracurricular